Welcome. We do have a few folks out in the crowd. It's good to see out there. Today is November 25th, 2025. I want to welcome you to our regularly scheduled Commissioners Court meeting, our last one before Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up. So, like I said, welcome everybody. We do have a quorum present, so let's stand for our prayer and our pledge and we'll get started. Gracious and loving Father, we come before you with hearts full of gratitude. Thank you for the gift of family and the love that binds us together. Help us to surrender our plans and place you in the driver's seat of our lives. Help us to be obedient to your calling, even when the path is unclear. Remind us that your timing is perfect, even when we feel restless or uncertain. Place us exactly where we need to be and help us to wait with faith and expectancy for the doors you will open in your time. May our lives be a testimony to your love and your faithfulness, Lord. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Mr. Dominguez was loud and proud over there. I heard him on that pledge. All right, item number 5 this morning, citizens to be heard. Do we have any this morning?
We have 2, Mr. Dominguez is the first one.
Okay. Mr. Dominguez, come on up.
Good morning, Judge Hedke, Commissioners. Thank you for allowing me this time to speak to you today. My name is Hector Dominguez, and I'm proud to serve as the superintendent of Runge ISD. I want to take these few minutes to share the great things happening in public education right now, especially right here in Karnes County, because Runge ISD is experiencing real momentum. First, our student enrollment has increased by 12% from the 24 to 25 school year. This growth includes transfer students who are choosing Runge. In a rural district, enrollment growth is a powerful indicator of families' trust and confidence, and we are deeply grateful for it. Academically, our teachers are working collaboratively in professional learning communities and using targeted interventions and data analysis to ensure that every student in Runge ISD is prepared for college, career, or military readiness. Student growth is at the center of everything that we do. We also understand that students perform best when they feel safe and supported. Through our culture initiative, the Runge 22, we teach the soft skills students need to succeed in life, treating others, demonstrating kindness, learning from mistakes, and taking personal responsibility. Beyond the classroom, our students are achieving historic levels of success in extracurricular programs. Our football team won its first district championship in 30 years and advanced to the playoffs. Our volleyball team earned back-to-back district championships and advanced to the regional quarterfinals for the first time in 20 years. Our marching band made its 3rd consecutive trip to the UIL State Marching Band Contest, and for the first time in school history, advanced to the finals. We launched cross-country for the first time in school history, and one student advanced to the regional championships. These achievements are not about trophies and banners. They are about pride, belonging, and belief. When students find success beyond the classroom, they gain confidence that transforms their performance inside the school. I also want to express deep appreciation for our faculty. In a small district, everyone wears multiple hats. Our team is committed to doing whatever it takes for children. Their dedication cannot be mandated. It comes from heart, service, and community pride. And finally, we are committed to strong relationships with families and the community. Public schools belong to the people that they serve, and we value their partnership. We are working to communicate clearly, protect student safety, and graduate students who will strengthen the future of Karnes County. In closing, I invite each of you to visit Runge ISD. Talk to our students. See firsthand the culture of hard work, resilience, and hope that is growing every day. Thank you for your leadership and for supporting public education in Karnes County. Together, we will continue growing greatness in Runge, Texas. Thank you.
Outstanding. Thank you. Mr. Shakami, come on up.
morning, gentlemen and ladies. Before I get started I got 10, 11, and 12 I'd like to talk about. But first, I'd like to thank first responders. I think they're doing an awesome job, along with the Sheriff's Department. And also, they're helping us out there, especially during the fog. They slowing some of them drivers down, keeping, giving them tickets right when they're going around us and stuff like that. And they do go around us in those buses. So I just wanted to tell the first responders and the fire department and the EMS and the sheriff's office and the state troopers, they've pulled them over too. I appreciate it. On number 10, that Alamo Regional Transit, I think it takes a while for that to actually start showing anything. I know driving the school bus, kids change with us, and they change some of us drivers, different routes. Things happen, and it's going to take a little while. So I'm glad to see that it's still here, and I hope it stays here. Hope y'all keep it. We spend a lot of money on a lot of other things. If it's not feasible, I get it. But in reference to number 11, the records building. There's a lot of hubbub and scuttlebutt and rumor control going around enough for that it's actually too much in my opinion. But I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all county commissioners, in my opinion, y'all are in charge of the buildings. Y'all supposed to take care of that. It shouldn't have gotten to this point. That's all I got to say about that. And on number 12, Wes, with this deal with, I would imagine you're gonna have your office in there, over there, I would imagine. I'd like to see an office for the county commissioners in each precinct in a building, not over here because they're not in their precinct. I'd like to see each county commissioner in their own precinct in a building. I think that'd be good for everybody to be able to know where they are, be able to go talk to them. So that's all I have. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy. Any others, Ms. Liao? All right, we're going to move to item number 6, acknowledge, discuss OLS task force, acknowledge all donations, including monetary, made to OLS, National Night Out, Halloween events, and donations fund account. Sheriff Miranda.
Morning. We're going to start with the donations list.
Good morning. So to start off with the OLS donations, these are businesses that donated. We have Starbucks in Floresville, Rise Coffee Shop here in Karnes City, the Donut Palace in Kennedy, Donut Palace in Karnes City, Domino's Pizza in Kennedy, McDonald's in Kennedy, KC Food Mart and Subway in Kennedy, and Emergency Care of Floresville. They all donated meals and baskets of goodies for everybody that worked the task force.
OLS, yeah.
We also have our National Night Out and Halloween donations. To start off with candy, it was Best Western in Kennedy, Cowboy Liquor, Vape Kings, Eagle Ford, La Carreta Meat Market, Quality Inn, Ronnie Stanton with Crosby Energy, Tractor Supply, Microtel, HEB, Napa and Kennedy, Cricket, the USDA, Alamo Lumber, Star Nail, the owners of 181 Wrecker Service, LLC, and Lone Star Arms and Ammo, Malcolm Mobile Services, Techstar Federal Credit Union, El Oso Water Company. We had our nurses, Anissa Cordova and Andrea Bazan, donate, our admin assistant, Amy Medrano, Linda from La Quinta, Shorty, Carolyn, and Tyler Hernandez, MRC Global, Cadillac Jack, Texam Pumps, C&L Lube, United Rentals, Dockery's Adult Probation, Family Dollar in Runge, the Karnes County National Bank here in Karnes City, and Rise Coffee Shop. For monetary donations that were deposited into our donation fund account, we had James and Lupe Rosales, Runge Vet Clinic, Happy Nails, Great Clips, Ben Yanisek, Super 8 in Karnes, JM Cleaners, Beasley Tire in Kennedy, Jay-Z Smokehouse in Runge, Dynasty LLC, Quality Inn, Microtel. Other donations that we had of just merch were from Agave Dental in Kennedy and Emergency Care of Floresville.
Thank you. Again, a big thank you to all businesses and individuals who donated. We could not do these community functions without them. Also, moving on to OLS, I'd like to present to you an update on public investment into our new technology that we deployed with these new units. On the night of 10/5/25 at around 10:22 p.m. on FM 99 in Karnes County, at least 4 suspects made their way into an oil field servicing company property. They had traveled from the Carrizo Springs area. The suspects then stole 3 heavy-duty work trucks from a local business and began to make their way back to the Texas-Mexico border. These vehicles were to be taken across ports of entry into Mexico to be sold to the drug cartel, who would then up-armor these vehicles to fight the Mexican army. The theft ring was relying on old policing procedures used by law enforcement, knowing it would be days before a stolen report would be generated and placed into the TCIC and CIC stolen database systems. By then, they would be across the border without being detected and receive their payments. What these thieves didn't know was that the Karnes County Sheriff's Office had recently upgraded their in-car camera systems. With this technology came access to other systems. The stolen vehicles were entered into the camera system, and data was quickly sent back to our investigating officers of where the cars had been and their last known locations. 2 of these vehicles were recovered. The third had crossed the border into Mexico, due to the victim initially reporting the wrong truck information. However, once this was determined, we were able to identify 3 of the suspects, allowing Starr County Sheriff's Office to make an organized criminal case. Thank you, Commissioners Court, for that funding. It is already paying dividends. On 10/22/2025, we hosted our first large-scale operation, Lone Star Task Force. The goal of the task force was to locate stolen vehicles, combat human trafficking, drug money loads, and illegal firearms loads headed into Mexico. The operation was also meant to deter criminal activity with proactive efforts to provide a safer community here in Karnes County. 10/22/2025, day 1 of the operations, results were 143 traffic stops, 2 felony warrant arrests, 2 narcotics arrests, and 1 pursuit. The pursuit involved 2 females from Cuba who were in the country illegally. Further, they were transporting methamphetamines. Day 2, 195 traffic stops, 1 narcotics arrest, 2 felony warrant arrests. Day 3, 131 traffic stops, highlights. Overall, we took 1 murder off the streets by serving a felony warrant for murder out of California. Another felon was working at the Conley Prison unit doing contract work. He was arrested on a Bexar County warrant for continuous sexual abuse of a child. Another attempt to steal multiple vehicles from the hardworking people of Karnes County was thwarted by our proactive efforts during this operation, as the occupants of the vehicle admitted to coming to Karnes County to steal more of these trucks, as I had stated earlier. The task force and ICE encountered 26 persons in the country illegally during this period. All persons encountered were turned over to ICE for investigation. In conclusion, the task force gained valuable intel that will lead to future arrests of those who are trafficking and distributing narcotics in our community. On the night of 10/5/2025, sorry, I already did that one. On 11/19/2025, to further the technology that we've been using, a deputy was on routine patrol utilizing the new technology, identified another stolen vehicle out of Poth. This is right here in Karnes City. The driver of the stolen car led deputies and other law enforcement officers on a chase to where he was ultimately caught on State Highway 80 and FM 792. Follow-up investigation revealed that the driver of the stolen car is also suspected of multiple burglaries here in Karnes and adjacent counties. The suspect is currently on parole, having been released from prison in May of this year. That's all I have to report.
Awesome, thank you.
Sheriff.
Okay, item number 7, acknowledge Mr. John Banks of Purdue, Brandon Fielder, Collins, and Mott LLP donation of $1,000 to the Karnes County Employee Holiday Luncheon, Thursday, December 11th, 2025. Ms. Elaine?
I just wanted to give a thanks out to Mr. Banks because he has consistently done this for us every year. So again, thank you.
Absolutely, thank you, John. He does it religiously. Item number 8, discuss, approve, disapprove, amending SB 22 grant GL code 196-196-5712 vehicle equipment upgrades to vehicle/equipment/ upgrades to be used as intended. Chief?
Good morning, Commissioners and Judge. All right, so this is pretty cutthroat, forward.
Cutthroat?
I don't know.
Cut and dry.
I've misused that term, I guess. It's Tuesday, feels like a Monday. All right, so right now it says vehicle equipment upgrades. There was some miscommunication when we were putting this line item on our GL code for Senate Bill 22. As it reads right now, it states that we can only get upgrades, which we think y'all have most of our upgrades we need. So with this, it'll allow us to do a vehicle or equipment or upgrades. We can use it how we want. Again, this is Senate Bill 22 money, not county money. So that's why I'm changing it.
I'll make the motion to approve item number 8 as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Motion carries. Okay, item number 9, discuss, approve, disapprove, transferring 2015 Ford F-250 pickup, and the VIN number on that is 1F77W2BT6FEA80786 from the Ag Extension Office to the Office of Emergency Management. Justin has been doing a great job so far. This is a truck, obviously, like I said, this was Ag Exemption Extension Agent's vehicle, and it has not been used in, I don't know, 2 years. It was sitting in that lot. I think Commissioner Beatrick looked at it and got the batteries charged up, and it's running well. And I believe that if I remember right, about 3 years ago, they had the whole front end redone on that truck, and it was something similar to most Fords have. Anything, Justin, from you?
No, I think I talked with Chief, and I talked with Chief Abram, and I mean, it'd be a good asset for us. I mean, if they're on scene and they need either one of their trailers, we'd be utilizing for that as well.
Sure.
Same with fire departments, you know, if they need foam trailer, one of their trailers, we'd be utilizing it for that on scenes. It'd help on any type of those emergency management type assets.
Judge, may?
Yes, sir.
So I had been working on a surplus Chevy Tahoe that we have, and my intent was to get that vehicle to emergency management for him to utilize. But when this vehicle became available, I stopped and talked with Justin, and I agree that this will fill more roles, especially when able to tow these vehicles. So I think it will work better for you than the Tahoe. So I'll make a motion to approve agenda item 9 as presented.
I'll second it.
We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Motion carries. All right, Justin, I'll get that over to you. Item number 10, discuss/take possible action, report from Alamo Regional Transit on Karnes County Connect Public Transportation Services. Commissioner Beatrick, we got our art man here.
Sir.
So, yes, sir. After last Commissioner's Court, I reached out to Art and asked him to come down and give us a report because when we approved our interlocal agreement, there were several questions that I did not have the answers for, so I asked the experts to come in and give us that report.
Good morning, Judge, County Commissioners. My name is Joseph Briones. I'm the mobility coordinator with Alamo Transit. I'm here to present some information to you all regarding the Connect Kennedy and Karnes County Connect routes that have been operating in the area. And so you all should have a slide here in front of you that kind of presents all the information. And the short version is that we started the Kennedy Connect route in March of 2025, and we started the Karnes County Connect route that runs the entirety of the county in May. Looking at the data below, you can see that the numbers have increased dramatically since we started both of those routes. Just in March alone, we had 147 rides the first month that we launched the Kennedy Connect, and 387 trips, the month that we started the Karnes County Connect. I also wanted to present the average of the months before we launched the routes of about 36 trips per month that we were operating out of Karnes County. With both routes running since March, the average has jumped to 377 trips that are provided to Karnes County residents per month. That's over almost a 10 times increase in the amount of transportation that is being able that is being offered to Karnes County residents because of these route systems. Beside it, you have the type of trip, so you can see that not only have we added the Karnes and Kennedy routes that operate locally, but we have continued our other demand response services that transport individuals to San Antonio, Floresville, or other areas outside of the county as well, if they need to, specifically for medical appointments and so on and so forth. I also wanted to let you all know that we have a dedicated bus ordered and ready and pretty much ready to go to take the part of the Karnes County and Kennedy Connect routes. This bus is going to be a brand new bus. It's going to have wrapping and signage to really emphasize that this is the route bus for the county. It's going to have a bike rack on it. It's going to be air conditioned, and it's a brand new bus for those residents. I know Commissioner had asked me if it's going to be side seating or front face seating. We do recognize that some of our older residents sometimes have some difficulty with the side seating. It will be front facing. We also have permanent signage and bus stops on order that's coming this year to kind of help let individuals know where the bus stop signs are, where the bus stops are. And lastly, we do have our Alamo Regional Transit app. We are working to get the functionality for the routes. We're hoping by January that individuals can download this app and have real-time tracking of where the bus is. They'll be able to access the paper maps that you have there of the routes on demand. And they'll also have an easy way to call our dispatch center if there's any questions about where the bus is. I'm happy to answer any questions you all may have.
So Joseph, you have 2 new buses that are on order, correct? Or is it just one now?
I believe it should, yes, sir. It's 2 buses, one for each of the routes. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And these buses are going to be propane powered, is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we are also looking for a local propane vendor that we may utilize. We always prefer to keep it here locally if we can. So if anybody knows of somebody that we can communicate with, that would be great.
Awesome. Any other question, discussion?
I have a question. I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
talking very well today, so excuse me. But I asked one of the commissioners, the last time we were here, I believe the question was about the waiting time on. How much time do y'all give people to load up?
Yes, sir. So typically, the way it works is our bus driver is supposed to pull up to the stop and give about maybe a minute or two to kind of wait for any individuals that are coming out. We do run about an hour route around the county so that if we extend it further out than that, it can get challenging. However, if that is something that you would like for us to revisit, we can certainly do that, kind of go back with our operations team and see if we can add some additional wait time at each of those stops. It may just require us to extend the wait times across the entire county. I do know at one point we were running closer to an hour and a half because we were kind of getting some additional time. It can be quite challenging with the amount of area that we do have to cover, but that is certainly something that we can discuss. We also, individuals can also call our dispatch center, especially if they're wheelchair bound or something, to let the dispatch know that they are waiting at the stop and they will be coming out. And that way our dispatch can communicate with that bus driver to let them know at this incoming stop to give a little bit of extra time to account for that individual coming out of their home or coming out of that business.
Yes. Okay,
Yes,
that
sir.
was my question for the disabled like that. Sometimes they need more time than just a minute. And it was brought to my attention that the drivers are just pulling up, looking around and then waiting and just taking off. So if there's somebody that's disabled, a minute's probably not going to be ample time for them to get up, and get out.
Yes, sir. Yeah, definitely. We can, I can definitely take that back to our operations team to discuss if we can allot some more time. And then also, we can always encourage those individuals to call ahead so that we can, the communication with the dispatch is usually the best way because they have that instant communication with our drivers to let them know you need to give extra time at this spot and let that individual get on the bus.
Okay.
You mentioned an app. Is that something that they'll be able to check in? I mean, if they're walking across the hospital and they know that, hey, I've got to be out there in 2 minutes and hey, I'm coming, but can they just check in?
So that's actually, that's a great call out. That's a great functionality that we can see if that app is able to allow us that. We're going to start by allowing the map and kind of having that real-time tracking And also, the app already has kind of a built-in feature where they can, contact, ask for help, and it'll route them over to our dispatch center, which kind of would do the same thing. But that's not to say that we can work with our app developer to see if there's some kind of functionality where they can just tap it and see if that'll alert our dispatch to give them some more time. Yes, sir. I can definitely get an answer for you on that.
Thank you.
So Joseph, in September, y'all had a total of 542 rides. That was 301 in Kennedy, 182 in Karnes City. There was 33 public, 4 Medicaid, and 22 aging. Are those a different service than these buses that are driving around?
Yes, sir. So all of those services are provided by Alamo Regional Transit, but the public, Medicaid, and aging are separate buses that are operating through our demand response. So the public transportation, the public line that you see there is individuals that are calling our dispatch and scheduling a ride. They may be going within Karnes County, or they may be going outside of it. 99%, especially with the route, are going outside of the county. The Medicaid and aging specifically are contractual services that we offer. The aging with our our Area Agency on Aging program, where they pay for the trips for those individuals over 60. So the Kennedy and the Karnes trips specifically are the buses that are going in the route. And that's why I like to highlight that we've continued, and actually you can kind of see we've actually been able to increase the amount of public trips that are available to go outside of the county for those that do need to by offering that route system, which tells me that some of those individuals were utilizing the demand response to kind of just go interlocally, and now we're able to provide that with the route system instead.
And the buses that are running the Karnes County route and the Kennedy route, they are funded by Karnes County, Kennedy, and TxDOT, but, so there's no cost to the riders for those.
Correct.
With the demand services, some of these, is there a cost for the rider?
Yes, sir. So the demand response service, as we call it, does carry a low fare depending on how far they're going. If they're staying within, for example, the city of Karnes City, it would be a $2 trip. Most individuals are going at least one county or 2 counties over. That's where you get to the $8 or $12 fare per ride, depending on how far they're going. Those individuals that are over 60 can qualify for a grant that is provided by another ACOG department called our Area Agency on Aging, and those trips are at no charge. We also have a lot of support from the Texans Veterans Commission through their Rides for Texas Heroes program. So we also have funding to provide those trips at no charge for veterans as well. We do a lot of that transportation to Audie Murphy as well.
Is all that information on your website?
Yes, sir. And I'm happy to provide additional flyers and get in communication with our aging program and our veterans program. It's a quick intake process that we have to just get some information for them since it is a grant. And then once they're set up, they just call our Alamo Regional Transit dispatch line, and they get those trips within usually 5 business days.
Do y'all have enough local drivers for the on-demand service, or do y'all need more?
At this time, we're actually, we're fully staffed, thankfully, and all the drivers are local. We try really hard to keep our drivers from the community, especially our route drivers. Part of what this program, what we envision, is that the drivers are able to identify their usual customers, their usual riders, and they kind of build that relationship. We've seen great success with that model in other areas.
So on that note, I'll just share with the court, I had an interesting report this morning. Apparently there was a lady walking down Highway 181 the other day. She was pushing a cart, and the ART bus was coming from the other direction. She waved at them, they recognized her, pulled over, picked her up, and took her where she needed to go. So good job. Guys.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Joseph, thank you for coming. I do believe it's providing a great service to our county residents, so.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, commissioners, for your time this morning.
Thank you for being here.
Okay, item number 11, discuss/take possible action regarding the status of Karnes County Records Building Project and related contracts by Swirt, sponsored by Commissioner Benny Lissy.
Well, I was contacted by Ms. Swerts and asked to sponsor this agenda item, so I'm going to turn it over to her.
Thank you, Commissioner Lissing. Good morning, everyone. After the last meeting, I went to Judge Hedke's office to discuss the archives building. To be honest, I had more questions than answers after I left. I had a former commissioner call me also and told me he had made an open records request concerning the building and had some of the same questions I did. After these two conversations, I felt the need to push the issue for more transparency and talk to Commissioner Lissy about placing something on the agenda. I know the rules. You can't discuss something that is brought up on public comments. The only way to do this is to have it on the agenda. Let me make this very clear. I want this project done. The following timeline set everything in motion. Architectural services dated on or about March 31st, 2020 for design phase, and construction administration phase. I don't know how long this agreement is good for, and if we even have an agreement or contract with the architect to complete this project. The building was put out for bids 3 times before the county accepted a bid. The last time was when Judge Hedke put on the September 24th, 2024 agenda. The item read, discuss, approve, disapprove, RFQ proposals, request for quotes is what was read at the meeting by the judge for archives building. Motion made by James, second by Wes. Motion passed 3-0. 2 commissioners were out. December 10th, 2024 agenda, again submitted by Judge Hedke. Agenda item read, discuss, approve, disapprove, acceptance of proposal submitted for archive storage building. I was not in attendance. My knee was getting done, but my name was mentioned a few times by the judge. Motion made by Benny, second by Wes. Motion passed 4-0. 1 commissioner was out. After that meeting in December, there was never an item that I could find to accept a contract from the company that was awarded the bid, nor was a purchase order for the project submitted to the auditor's office, which is required by the county's procurement policy. Construction on the building started around March-ish. I really wasn't paying attention, not sure the exact date, and everything came to a halt in July. I then made an open records request myself to the county attorney, asking for the information she sent to the former commissioner, as well as a copy of the contractor's bond. Each of you have received a thumb drive from the information because it's about 800 pages, and quite frankly, I wasn't going to print all that. I also sent you a YouTube video of the 2 meetings I mentioned earlier. According to open records request, the county attorney replied to, we have no contract with the company that was awarded the bid. We have no notice to proceed with the contractor, which to me is important because it gives you a start and end date. We have no copy of the performance bond. 2 bills were submitted by the architect and signed off by the judge to pay. We currently have another bill that the architect refused to sign off on. I've heard why he refused to sign, but it was secondhand, so maybe someone who was told directly can answer that question. I feel the court needs to explain to the public how we are going to fix this so that we can move on. So just have, we need a contract, we need a start and stop date, we need a copy of the bond. And I don't know how to get this done. I mean, I have been up here several times nagging y'all about this, and I think the only way is to push the issue and put your feet to the fire like I told every one of you. I've met with every one of you on my questions, and so we need a solution.
So do we have a current contract on this?
This is what I have, and I'll read it. This was executed in quadruplet, State of Texas, County of Karnes. This agreement made 27th day of January in year 2025 by and between CNC Custom Construction LLC in Karnes County, here installed called the general contractor, and Karnes County, Texas, acting herein by and through its Commissioners Court, hereinafter called the owner. Then it has the witnesseth, Article 1, the scope of work, and it has all of that stuff. Article 2, time of completion by, that's before the stoppage. The work to be performed under this agreement shall be commenced within 10 days after the date of execution of this form of agreement, and subsequently completed in the judgment of the architect on or before 31 day of August 2025. Obviously, we know that that was shut down by the architect. Article 3, the contract price $684,984,000. Cost breakdown for skills and labor, $298,964. For materials, $359,675,000 plus bond, $26,345. Total contract price, $684,984. Article 4, payments, goes into all the payment stuff, 95%. And I'm happy to provide this. If anybody would ask, I would provide.
And I did ask
I
if
know.
you would, if you were going, yesterday.
I will, yeah, yesterday
Sorry,
whenever we
I'm
talked, so I
trying
have
to-
it.
If you were
Article-
going to present that to court today.
Article 5, acceptance and final payment. Final payment would due within 30 days. Again, this A, B, and C. Article 6, the contract documents, which include the enumeration of contract documents, the request for proposal, the instructions to offerers, and the general conditions of the contract, the supplemental conditions, the special conditions, the proposal, the letter of acceptance of proposal, this agreement, the drawings and the specifications, the addenda number is issued in the proposal period, and the owner's protective bonds, and any subsequent change orders that may be in this agreement. Article 7, location of the performance, Karnes County, and witness the parties hereunto have executed this agreement. And then the next page is signature page. It has my signature and has the general prime contractor, CNC Custom Construction by Caesar, owner.
But that's not a contract. I'm not a lawyer, sorry, Jennifer.
I'm not
a
an
lawyer.
attorney either.
And that was never presented in front of Commissioners Court for approval. So you signed something that wasn't approved by court. And the copy that I looked at yesterday didn't have anybody from CNC's signature on it. So what do we do?
Was it filed and recorded with the county clerk's office?
I'm not the county clerk.
So I would take that as a no. Because if it wasn't presented in Commissioners Court, she wouldn't, I'm not the county clerk. I wouldn't think she would need to file something that wasn't approved by court.
Madam Judge.
Were you provided with the contract? Were you provided?
You need to talk in the mic, Benny. We can't hear you.
No. County attorney, were you provided with a copy of this contract?
Not initially, no. Through the FOIA request.
Excuse my voice. When I went to one of my conferences, I asked the attorneys that were there, I told them exactly the situation that we were in. And I told them that they asked me, did y'all vote unanimous on awarding the job to this contractor? I said, yes. And I explained about there not being a contract and all that. The bid, we accepted the bid, yes. And their exact words to me were, y'all made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. Commissioners Court all over Texas makes a mistake. Y'all voted it unanimously. So I said, what do we got to do now? They said, get a new contract, write everything down what y'all have done, get it approved, and use the same contractor. They said, it's that simple. There's really nothing to it. So, and I told them, did we do something wrong? They said, y'all just made a mistake. That was it. That's what, the way I explained it.
And I agree. Just get a contract up here, cover the county, cover the people that are doing the work, get it signed, get it approved, and move on. But that building's been still since July.
It was a mistake, and I'm going to take it upon myself because I've been here a lot of years. It was a mistake of the Commissioners Court because in that meeting, I don't remember anybody designating either me, myself, or the judge, or any one of the other commissioners to be on top of this project. Usually, we try to designate someone to be on it, like the auditor's building was designated for me to take care of it. I took care of it, road and bridge with them. I worked with them on it. But this one I don't believe anybody was designated to it. So it falls back to me, only my belief, I'm just one commissioner up here. It falls back on the whole Commissioners Court should have been on top of it, looking at it and seeing there's not a contract there. That's only my personal opinion. It shouldn't be designated to one certain person, but the whole Commissioners Court. And I take my partial blame on it. We move on, and we go, we just move on.
But in my opinion, because Judge Hedke was the one that put it on the agenda, and he's signing the bills, because I have copies of the bills, the two architect bills, that kind of falls on him, because we have an item on the agenda for Wes's building, and Wes is putting it on. Benny's going to put his building on. Casey's going to put his building on it. Somebody has to take responsibility for it. I mean, y'all drop the ball. Let's pick it up and bounce it and go on down the road. But we've had no answers on why that building has been sitting since the middle of July. None. Y'all approved this 11 months and 2 weeks ago to get this building done, and we're still don't have a building. So what is the solution? Do we need a contract? We need a contract. So let's get a contract. Let's get it signed. Let's move on. Can we do that, Judge?
I mean, y'all can, everybody can point fingers at me. I've been open and honest about this with.
I don't think you have, I'm sorry.
With anybody that wanted to come and talk to me
And I
about
did.
this, and I was very open and honest with you about it. Anybody that has, I'm happy to show emails. None of this has been discussed I've heard this is, we all run into executive session to discuss this. This has never been discussed in executive session. This is all open court. The majority of folks know what this is about. I had a meeting for just an update after the previous Commissioners Court meeting, whenever I discussed the Chapman firm bill that I'd received that I was kind of blown away about because no questions were asked. My office was not contacted, just zero courtesy, zero professional courtesy. Sat down with Jeff Chapman, Christina and Caesar, who is CNC Construction. Perry with DRG was on Zoom, and then Wayne Gondik, who owns DRG, actually came down and sat with me in my office with Christina and Caesar, and with Jeff and Perry on the Zoom. We had about a 40-minute meeting. Some air was cleared. Wayne has pulled Perry from this project, and Wayne has assigned another manager to this project for various reasons, and I'm happy to talk to anybody about why that happened.
So why can't you talk about it now?
I mean, what do you want to know about?
I don't know.
Why was Perry pulled?
What does the public need to know?
Why was Perry pulled?
If you feel the need to tell why Perry was pulled, then tell us. We feel like we've been kept in the dark all this time. You'll bring it up every once in a while, but because you're kind of forced to, because I'm standing up here going, hey, what's going on with that building?
And you and I talked about this yesterday, and I'm not going to get in an argument with you, but you drive by it twice a day. I park in front of it every day. I can't stand sitting, watching it go through that. Nobody wants this built more than you and myself in this Commissioners Court and the clerks to get the storage done.
Right.
Again, I'm happy to provide whatever documents anybody wants. If Ms. Tapia would have contacted my office, I would have pulled it up on email, and I would have given her exactly then 3 or 4 months ago.
But that's between the two of you.
Yeah. But Perry was pulled from this project due to Wayne's decision as the owner of the company and a conflict with CNC Construction.
So where are we now with the building? When are we going to start construction again?
So like the emails that I showed you yesterday, Caesar and Christina have to provide the written answers to the questions that Wayne Gondik from DRG. And to my knowledge, that is being taken care of right now.
So are they given a timeline on how long they need to do that?
If they haven't been, I believe there should be.
Okay, so can we make sure that's going to happen?
Sure.
I mean, because we're pushing a year now since we awarded that bid.
Sure.
And we don't have anything since, like I said, since July, and I just don't feel like there's been enough transparency on why there's an issue.
And what you and I talked about yesterday. There was the reason for the delay, to my knowledge, was because whenever Caesar and Christina started this project, there were structural plans, engineered structural plans that were needed to be provided to DRG architects. Caesar and Christina took a long time to get those, a long time. Between vacation and working with their structural engineer, took a long time to get those, and that was time consuming. I agree. That is, that was a problem.
And I think that's why this contract would have a start and stop date on there, that you're going to begin on this, and I'm learning this from Casey, I don't know if he's even here, talking about the notice to proceed. You're going to start January 1st, and we're going to be done by December 31st. That's why we need that notice to proceed date, because you're going to put their feet to the fire. You have to have it done. If not, I'm assuming the contract will tell you,
Sure.
if you're 30 days late doing this, we're going to take off 10%, or you're going to charge, I don't know. But I know we have contracts for everything we do. Let's just get a contract. Let's get some answers. Let's get it done. I would love to see your name on Commissioner's Court report from county judge on what's going on what is happening. Because I know you do it every once in a while. I feel like that's an open meetings violation, because you're not on the agenda to speak, but you're going to say something. Put yourself on, we all have a report. I'm by statute, I have to give a report. All the commissioners give a report. All the departments give a report. I would love to see your name on there to give a report too. Even if it's to say, nothing's going on, that's fine.
I'll never be able to say
Because
that.
we've got, across the street, we've got an issue. We've got this building that's an issue. We have the jail that's an issue. And I'm going to put your feet to the fire on every one of those issues until we get it done.
You know, I can't, I'm not gonna, I can't report on the jail. I can tell you what I know. I can tell
Right,
you that it
and-
went from one commissioner to another commissioner to now another commissioner working on the jail. But, I'm happy to provide that.
Right.
If we want to air dirty laundry, I'm happy to air.
I'm not trying to air dirty laundry.
Dirty
You know I'm not
laundry,
trying to air
because
dirty laundry.
every time you point one finger, there's four pointing back at you.
Exactly, and I know very well what I have done or not, what I have not done. And so that's why you want to play, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I believe Commissioner Viatric here a couple of months ago or weeks ago talked about possibly assigning buildings. Were you the one that talked about that?
I don't believe I brought that
Okay.
up.
I thought that was brought up to assign buildings. That way we know who's going to be responsible for what. So let's get a contract, let's get it signed, let's get it going, and let's move on.
And why was construction stopped?
Why was construction stopped?
That's what I just explained to you.
The structural,
Yeah.
Construction,
Perry was,
They didn't have-
concerned-
huh?
Perry was concerned
Oh.
about not having the plans, and they had welded instead of bolted.
okay, I'll let the auditor tell you that. But I thought we put money in the budget. 400,000. We only put 400,000 in the budget
For,
for that building? So now we're going to be short $150,000?
we put $400,000 in the budget. We had budgeted like $1 million for this time
On this budget was $400,000.
to finish it.
That's the numbers I was given that we have in this year's budget. It's 400,000 in that last draw request.
Well,
We
yeah,
still owe
because they
What-
started it.
47,
what
which would
have-
make
what
sense
have you-
Because we would have paid probably 100, I'm sorry, but
No, you're fine.
160,000 more last year was why you budgeted 400.
Because
to
in March,
finish it.
the project started in March,
Right.
last year's budget. So it should have been done by September and anything left over.
Agreed.
So. Okay, well, I've taken up enough time. I appreciate.
I
I'm
got a
sorry.
question. When you had your meeting with the architects,
Yeah,
contractors,
you need to be in the bidding.
when the judge had his meeting with the architect and the contractor and with the attorney, why was our county attorney not invited to attend?
I don't know.
You chose not to.
Benny, I'm not going to play this game with you. I know what you're trying to do, and I'm not going to engage with you.
We're just trying to figure out what happened, get it fixed, get the building built and get over with. In 1937, a school was built in New London, Texas. It blew up the first day of school. It killed 295 students and teachers. Right after that, the legislature convened and they passed the Texas Engineering Act, which is now the Public Works Act. If this thing is followed, everything will be done right.
Right, and there was not a PO. The procurement policy was not followed. And maybe, And I know I'm gonna keep mentioning Casey, because I looked to see if Casey had done a procurement policy, a PO for it, and there was one done on that too. It's just a lot of things weren't done the right way, and we need to live and learn and figure out what we did wrong and move on.
So with that being said, court judge, do we want to assign somebody to this building to go get a contract, to make sure there's a bonding and to provide the notice to proceed and to communicate?
That's up to the court. I mean, look, gentlemen, I've had several people ask me if I would report on what I do. Because maybe a lot of people don't know, but I do, all of my criminal work. I do all of the juvenile. I do all of the probates. I do guardianships. I do all of those things. On top of all the things that Michelle and I do, grants and all of these things, by statute, it is the commissioner's job to take care of the buildings. You heard a commissioner state that in open court a couple of years ago. It is their job to take care of these buildings. Whenever I got up a year ago and said, what was your famous quote?
Get it done.
Get it done. Design was in 2020 for an archives building, a 2-story archives building. No offices, storing our archives,
Right.
our files. No offices. This isn't a school that's gonna blow up. This isn't, and I know what you're doing there, but.
It falls under the Public Works Act.
Design of 2020. It is 2020, about to be 2026 to build a 2-story archives building. What's the problem? I mean, if I wouldn't have taken the initiative to push something to get this done, because our clerks are out of room.
I know.
You've heard Carol talk about it before she retired. Denise has filing cabinets, files that she can't use because she's afraid they're gonna fall over and squash one of her girls.
Right, and since 2020, we've known that issue has been here, and twice it's been put up for bid, and twice we're like, oh, no, it's too expensive, we're gonna do it ourselves.
Well, sure, I mean.
And that's what you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like that's fiscally responsible for us to spend $1.2 million on a 2-story storage building of taxpayers' money. I don't believe that.
Right.
First bid was 750,000.
And we had budgeted 300,000 or 400,000.
5, I think, but we should have built it then. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Well,
But let's just
you
get it
should
done.
have spoke up. You should have jumped on it.
Okay, so that one meeting, you talked about a contract. Do you still have that contract?
This is what I have that I
That
showed
is
you
what you,
yesterday.
when you refer to a contract, that's what you refer to.
This is what I have.
Okay.
And if Mrs. Tapia would have asked me about it 3 months ago when she was doing requests at the county clerk, she could have taken the stairs down or the elevator down and said, Judge, do you have anything?
Okay, but that's between the two of you. So I'm just making sure the contract that you were talking about is that agreement, which is not a contract.
I'm not an attorney, so I can't tell you if that's a contract or
Yeah,
not.
I would say it's not. Or when I did my open restaurant, and the former commissioner, that would have been included as the contract.
Judge, Mayor,
Sure.
to give you a little history on the buildings of Karnes County, how Commissioner's Court worked in the past. And it's a few years ago, when I first started, when I came in here, Darryl Blosky was here. He was in construction. He had been designated by Commissioner's Court to take care of all the buildings, so he took care of all the buildings. When he stepped out, they designated me, so I took care of all the buildings. Pete Yower came and got voted in. He said, hey, James, I don't mind doing that. I said, sure, you go ahead. So Pete, I said, sure. So Commissioner's Court, we
Right,
went in
I
there,
was
we
here during
designated
it,
Pete
yes.
Yower, and I would assist Pete however I could like that. After Pete Yower got out, whenever he got out, it's never, that from my recollection, has never been designated to anybody besides just like when this one came up, y'all said, hey, take care of it, James. I took care of it. Usually, there's always been one commissioner that looks over everything. That was back then when we were poor, we didn't have no money, so there wasn't that much going on. It's a lot different now. There's a lot going on now. It's a tremendous amount compared to back then. But that's the way, in the past, we always had one commissioner that looked over all the buildings. That's the one that had the most knowledge in construction, which probably right here would be me. I'm not saying I do, but I would figure that's the way it would be. I'm not volunteering for the job or anything, but it's a different now. We have a lot more buildings. They're taking care of their buildings. I'm very proud of them, working on their own buildings and all that, but all the commissioners know, and the judge knows I'm right here if they need any assistance. Judge, if you need me, or commissioners, if y'all need me to jump in on that building and take care of it, I don't mind. It's no big deal to me. I'll jump in, but I have to be designated to do it, and I don't mind doing it. I don't want to step on Commissioners Court toes and do anything, but I would be more than happy, Judge, Commissioners, to jump in and take the reins on it and make it happen.
And if that's what needs to happen, then that's what needs to happen.
No, I don't mind. I'm just volunteering, Judge. I'm volunteering myself out there. I don't mind to do that at all, but, or all the Commissioners Court take care of it. I just, it doesn't matter with me. I'm there if y'all need me.
And I think that the court could do that if they so choose to do regarding the status, because it is take possible action, the status of the Karnes County records building and related contracts.
Y'all can throw me in the fire. I'll take care of it.
Judge, if I may. Sure. So, I mean, we all each have our own precinct, and we all have different projects. For me, I always try to stay out of someone else's precinct, just for professional courtesy, because I don't want to go in and start kicking up mud in their area. I don't think that's right. Having said that, with this being here, we are as a court responsible for all the buildings, and I think that lending each other a hand in our expertise in different areas is what we need to do as a team. This obviously has been going on since before I became a commissioner. It's gained some traction here in the last year or so, and I'm glad it's been initiated. I'm not sure what happened as far as it seems like there were some things not followed and done according to our policies. But having said that, we're where we're at now, and without continually kicking that horse, to me, I think we do need to assign that to someone or two or three, so that we can get the ball moving, get a contract, get someone that's bonded. If they're not bonded, and I'm not saying they weren't bonded, I'm just saying there was no bond info, was what you mentioned earlier.
I'm going to guess that they're bonded because they were on other projects. They just never provided a copy of it.
And I don't want to misspeak for CNC
Right,
Construction. I mean, I don't. And get a notice to proceed and right the ship and get the building built. And I mean, that's my two cents on it. But again, I'm assuming it's in your precinct?
Yeah, but all the county, all county buildings are his.
No,
precinct.
I got you, but if I think he should have the right to say, yes, I'll spearhead this, but Commissioner Keisha, I need your help, and, you're gonna be doing all the legwork, or Commissioner Lissy or Commissioner Viatric, you're gonna be doing all this. So I'm just saying, I'm gonna defer to him. If he wants to take it, great. If he's like, hey, look, I got my hands full, can somebody else help? I'm all for that. So now I'm available for whatever you need.
Commissioners Court, it's y'all's decision, whatever y'all decide, and if somebody wants to assist, that's fine, or we do it together. I don't have a problem.
I agree with Commissioner Rosales and Commissioner Geisler. Solve the problem, get the building built, get it behind us, and let's move forward, work together, and get it done.
Commissioner Viatric.
I was going to just address Commissioner Patrick. He's been sitting there
patiently waiting
quietly
his
this whole
turn.
time.
Thank you. Folks, there's been a lot of blame game going along, and it really does no good for anything. It doesn't help the county. The buck stops here. This court, we are responsible for this building and the rest of the buildings of the county, and I will do anything I can to help. I agree that if Commissioner Rosales wants to spearhead the project and get it rolling again for us, that's great. I will help him in any way as possible. I would love to see the architect approve everything to move forward. It seems like that's been a big hangup. Every time I go and ask questions, I get an answer. I've always been satisfied with the answers I get, but it's just one thing after another that's holding us up. So currently, I don't know what it's going to take for the architect to approve the next certificate for payment. Judge, they didn't like it was being welded instead, so we got new drawings that were certified, and now it's something else.
I believe that Wayne wants the welds certified, or proof that or be able to prove that it was done by a certified welder.
So does it need to be the contractor to get a welding inspector? Will the architect hire a welding inspector?
I don't know that answer.
Okay.
That's a Wayne or a CNC.
Is that something James can follow through with on that?
Would that be okay?
Sure.
I'll also be willing to help any way I can, and I'll make the motion to let James, or ask James, since he volunteered, to take over this project.
I changed my mind.
I second that.
I was kidding.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
I would like, I'm so sorry, Judge. I would like if Commissioner One could assist me,
Absolutely, sir.
if that could be in the motion too.
Very good. All right, all those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed?
Thank you very much. I have both of y'all on speed dial, so be prepared.
Item number 12, discuss, approve, disapprove recommendation by Precinct 4 Commissioner to initiate contract negotiations with DRG Architects to design and perform construction phase services based on evaluation of RFQs received for the Precinct 4 EMS Service Center. Commissioner Giesler.
Judge, Commissioners, if I may, I'm going to take a little side note. I wanted to address something that was stated earlier. This is for the EMS station. The Precinct Service Station Center is still in progress, and it's a little further along than this. And there will be an office in there for the Commissioner. But that is a little further along. Having said that, we've got the two DRG and RMA architects that had submitted bids to us. I shared that with each one of you commissioners and judge as well. I had a committee of 7 folks from different various parts of the precinct and county. The judge was a part of that. Chief Ebram was a part of that. Several of the constituents within, and the rest of the folks were from in the Precinct 4 area. We scored, we met, we scored. Now, not everyone was able to meet. It's kind of hard when you have 7 folks and we all have busy lives and jobs and we're trying to get it all done. But every attempt was made to try to make it work for everyone. But 3 folks were not there, but they did email their scores in. Those scores are tabulated. And when they were tabulated, DRG ended with a score of 83.6%. RMA came out with a 75.7%. Both those DRG and RMA, in my opinion, are qualified to do the work. I think from a selection committee point, they did have some different parameters and specifics that folks liked, so they scored them higher. And it is my recommendation to award or to initiate contract negotiations with DRG Architects.
Casey is not here today, and Casey asked me to read this on his behalf. Casey was one of the scorers. I was one of the scorers. Judge Sotelo was a scorer. Commissioner was a scorer. Mr. Dement, Mr. Dement, is that correct? Commissioner Dement? Dement, and one other. Who was it? Oh, Chris, yeah, Mayor Parker, Chris Parker. And Casey, being on the committee, felt it was important and he asked me if I would read this, and this was emailed to Commissioner Giesler as well, and to the whole committee. And just said, thank you very much for sending the updated score sheet. I too want to thank all the committee members for their assistant participation in the review and scoring of the submittals of qualifications for the 2 architectural firms. I am understanding of and in receipt of the scores is calculated, showing a 7.9 percentage point advantage to DRG Architects. As 3 of the committee members were not present to hear my discussion points, I would like to lay them out in written form so that all parties are aware of them. Please understand that I am not attempting or requesting to rescore the submittals. I simply want to communicate my points as the department head that will be a key stakeholder in this project. Furthermore, I unfortunately will not be able to attend the regularly scheduled Commissioners Court meeting on 11/25 when this will be considered for action as I will be out of town according to attending the Texas EMS Conference. As I stated in the committee meeting that was held on 11/5/25 at KCRB headquarters, I have some hesitations related to DRG as the firm that may be chosen for the proposed project of the Precinct 4 EMS station in Runge, Texas. Overall, my concerns are: 1, historical performance for Karnes County projects and capacity to perform; 2 is relevant project history; and 3 is effort made to produce a calculated response to the RFQ. I would like to substantiate my points with the following comments/observations. Timeline/current project/history. There were a lot of comments made by other committee members related to RMA's ability or lack thereof to perform in a rapid and efficient manner, given their current contract for the EMS Administration/Training Center/EOC project. I would once more like to echo my rebuttal to those remarks and state that RMA was able to complete contract negotiations, schematic design, design development, draft an RFP for CMAR, produce construction documents, assist CMAR with bidding and tabulation, and successfully commence the project with our CMAR in 15 months' time from executing the contract. My concern is that, per my research of Commissioners' Court agendas and meeting minutes, DRG Architects has been engaged with multiple Karnes County projects of which have had equal or superior efficiency. Example, DRG has been engaged in some form or fashion since October of 2023 on the Precinct 2 Service Center, of which a contract was approved a year later on 10/8/2024, and to date, to my knowledge, not yet produced construction drawings for the job to be bid, much less commenced. Also, in total, DRG is engaged with Karnes County on a total of 3 projects: Service Center ×2 and Archives Building, whereas RMA's portfolio, there is only 1 Karnes County project. Relevant projects. In regard to the project at hand, EMS station, in their submittal, DRG only had 1 previous EMS station that they are designing or have designed. I am uncertain the status of the project, as in the cover letter, the status was currently under design. However, later in the SOQ, they noted in their qualification statement that it was recently completed. RMA had multiple relevant projects, EMS or fire stations, listed in their SOQ. Certificate of liability insurance. DRG did not provide a copy of their liability insurance that was explicitly requested in the RFQ, whereas RMA did. SAM.gov status. DRG did not comment on their status in SAM.gov that was explicitly requested in the RFQ, whereas RMA did. Contractors and project costs, specifically requested in the RFQ, the relevant projects listed in the submittals were supposed to disclose/list contractors and construction costs. Contractors on all and/or construction costs on most were not identified or listed in the relevant projects listed by DRG, whereas RMA did. Form of response, as I stated in the committee meeting as well as in subsequent conversations thereafter, the biggest concern and/or disappointment that I had in DRG submittal is that the SOQ that they provided was not formatted or in response to our RFQ for this project. They simply used their previous submittals for both service centers in Precinct 2 and Precinct 4 and simply changed the project name and cover letter. Plus or minus 1 or 2 sentences elsewhere. The format of responses from DRG were word for word, question by question, based on the criteria that was laid out in previous RFQ that I wrote for the EMS admin and training building that was subsequently reused with minimal revision for the courthouse assessment, restoration, and service centers. This RFQ was significantly different and requested different information, of which, as noted above, was not provided by DRG. This in and of itself is quite a blatant oversight of DRG, or was knowingly done based on an assumption. I apologize for the lengthy email, but I wanted to identify and express my concerns. Obviously, the majority of the committee disagrees with or was unaware of this information and fails to report to Commissioners Court that DRG is the firm that is recommended for the project. I will respect the recommendation of the committee, but politely disagree with it, though I feel that both firms in generic sense are undoubtedly qualified to produce work. I do feel quite strongly, for reasons previously noted, that RMA is more qualified. This is based on a stronger relevant project history, efficient and quality historical performances for Karnes County, and inclusion of all requested/required information that was requested as a undoubtedly formatted a specific response to this RFQ. In closing, I want to assure you that I am excited for and supportive of the proposed project. The enhanced capability that it will add to Karnes County EMS by more efficiently serving the population in Runge and Precinct 4 as a whole is something that will most definitely be appreciated by the taxpayers. Furthermore, I can affirm my commitment that regardless of which firm is chosen by Commissioners Court, I will support the decision and work collaboratively with said firm to see project through. I appreciate everyone's assistance and look forward to beginning contract negotiations and design. Respectfully, CE Casey Ebram. Casey felt it was important for me to read that, and I'm sorry I was so long-winded, but that is Casey's response to being on the committee.
Judge, may I?
Yes, sir.
First, Casey, that's hard to follow, man. You're always on the ball and very detailed. And I appreciate the detail that you put to it. And I really appreciate that the time that was put in by the committee to review these requests for and proposals. But I personally am very uneasy with DRG at the moment because we have a building right across the street that DRG is the architect for, and we continue to bang our head against the wall. I don't want that for Karnes County any longer. I know we have them working for us for our service center for Precinct 2 and Precinct 4, and I wouldn't want them to be overloaded. That said, it may be good to have them working on all the buildings at one time because they should know all the project at once. But I've been personally working with RMA on the EMS center, and things are flowing well, and I feel like they would do a good job. So at this time, I'm not comfortable with DRG.
Commissioner, if I may,
Yes, sir.
you know, I understand your concerns with DRG. I will say, and like to point out, if our procedures and policies have been followed, this is not a reflection of DRG. What that building across the street is not their fault. And I understand what you're saying, and I think we all have our opinions with the folks that we're working with. You know, with DRG and my experience with them, dealing with the Precinct 4 Service Center, everything's been wonderful. It's been great. It's been great communication. And I would like to address one of the things Casey said in his note there about, I think he said it's about 1.5 years for them to get drawings. I do believe Commissioner Lissy has drawings, but part of the reason it's taken a while is because, number one, the Commissioner Lissy and I, because we're both building the same building, had to get our JPs together, ask them for specific requirements, get them together and put them in a room with us, with the constables, so that we could all make an educated decision. Get with elections, Ms. Beth Montalvo, to make sure we were covering all the aspects on that, so that everybody, so we had one drawing that in essence saved the county money. So there's a time constraint there. From a contract perspective, I think it was 3 to 4 months before DRG finally got a signed contract back. So if you start taking up all those times, that's where the time came from. That's the extension of it. Not to mention the site restrictions that Precinct 2 had over there, roads. You know, and I know Commissioner Lissy worked very hard with that. So there were some constraints there, and I understand and appreciate Chief Ebram's comments. And I do respect what you're saying as your comfortableness with RMA versus DRG. That being said, I would make a motion to initiate contract negotiations with DRG Architects to design and perform construction phase services based on evaluation of RFQs received from the Precinct 4 EMS Service Center.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Were you going to discuss, Commissioner?
Judge, thank you. I was just going to say that I know there's difference of opinions here and all that, but he's going to be working with DRG Architects. He's happy with it. He's a commissioner that's on top of that project. So, and I'm voting it when he calls for the vote.
Okay, motion and a second still stands. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? I am opposed. Commissioner Beatrix opposed. Motion carries 3-2. Item number 13, discuss, approve, disapprove request by KCRB engineer to approve a budget amendment to move $15,970.50 from GL 200-680-4352 electronic purchases to GL 200-680-3353 software licensing to pay for Samsara software for fiscal year 25-26. The cost of the software was inadvertently left out of the KCRB fiscal year 25-26 budget request. The Samsara software is used to monitor the location of KCRB equipment and vehicles, schedule all preventative vehicle and equipment maintenance, and will be an essential component of the fuel management system that is currently being procured. Wayne?
That is exactly what I would say, and it was a mistake by me for not putting it in the budget. Thankfully, we were able to save quite a bit of money on the fuel management system, about 40 grand off of what we anticipated to pay. So that's where we're able to get this oversight corrected from, and we'll still have some money left over in that. So. My apologies for the oversight on the budget request, but that's what we need to do to keep this software going. We're all using it now in terms of the EMS department, the sheriff's department, so it's a good piece of software, and that's what we need.
Yeah, I remember you talking about this in budget meeting, so I don't know how it got left off, but.
Well, honestly, it was, if you want to know the details, I can tell you, it was basically something last year we did with part of our equipment acquisitions, but then we switched, but then this year it needs to be paid out of just software.
Okay.
So, my apologies. Yep.
That's the same system that it talks about that the sheriff's department used,
Yes, sir.
EMS, where y'all can keep track of your.
Yes, sir.
And we can buy it bulk and save money and.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to approve item number 13 as presented.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Judge, I'll just say that I have utilized the software. I've seen it. It works well. I think it's good for the department to have so they can track and maintain all of their equipment, so.
All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Motion carries. Item number 14, yes. Notification to Commissioner Court of catalog procurement of a Fuel Master electronic fuel management system in the amount of $85,296.05 as requested by Chapter B, Section 5 of the Karnes County Procurement Policy.
Yes, Court, this, just so you know, this is a catalog procurement that we negotiated through, that was negotiated through Sourcewell. We're working with the county auditor to complete the project. When we get this done, we will have electronic fuel being dispensed at all of our yards. And at any point in time, if we run into an outage or if the sheriff or EMS just want to take advantage of the fuel, being able to fuel up there, they'll be able to do that. It's going to be very helpful in emergency situations where we don't have, commercial gasoline available. And yeah, it's good. It's we actually saved about $40,000 on this procurement because of changes in technology.
Okay.
So.
Thank you.
Gas and diesel?
Gas and diesel, yes, sir.
Nice.
And yeah, and the auditor will get involved in allocating things, so it'll be, won't have any impact on anybody's budget. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Item number 15 is our consent agenda. We have our reports from our district clerk, our EMS, our constable precincts 2, 3, 4, And our TXDMB, and we also have a budget amendment, BA 2026-02. And that budget amendment for transparency is the contribution of the EMC donated funds expense of $1,500 in the 175-335-3001. So revenue and the expense is 175,635,5175. That's establishing the funds for the Emergency Management Coordinator Department from donations.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
Constable Ford, I noticed here you did on citations issue 21. Outstanding. Good,
Thank you.
thank you.
I appreciate you, the constable, and I've had a lot of conversations with him that, you know, we, about a year and a half ago, we went out and got cars and insurance and other equipment for them so that they could go out there and be another police force in our communities, especially the far-reaching ones. And he has embraced that, and I really want to say thank you for that. I know I've got a lot of people that are telling me they're very appreciative of that, so. And not to take away from anything from the sheriff, they're doing their due diligence, but it's nice to see him out there, you know, embracing that.
I know the sheriff's department is great,
Yeah.
but we really appreciate that. That's wonderful, wonderful.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Anybody opposed? None. Item number 16, do we need to pull any of those items? Hearing none. Item number 17, we'll have updates from our commissioners, starting with Commissioner Beatrick, Precinct 1.
I receive daily reports from Aspen about where they are installing fiber lines in the county, and as they work through Precinct 1, I drive through the area and check on their progress. Any issues I've had get addressed right away. Aspen is currently working on interconnection lines on Highway 72 that will serve VTX1's wireless service for the southwestern portion of Karnes County. VTX hopes to have that tower operational and serving our residents before the end of the year. The county has a 2014 Tahoe that I was planning to repair for the use of our emergency management coordinator. When the former AgriLife truck became available, I spoke with Justin, and he felt the truck would better serve his needs since he could utilize it to tow the incident command trailer. I have an estimate for repairs to the Tahoe, but I'm not going to proceed unless we have a defined use for this vehicle. I welcome anyone's input on how we can utilize this vehicle for the county's needs. I've been going from meeting to meeting to stay in the loop. I attended the local emergency planning committee meeting at that Karnes County hosted for our region. I also attended the Karnes County Interagency Meeting, Kennedy City Council meeting, Karnes County GOP meeting, and our construction update meeting for the EMS training and admin building. Construction permits for the EMS building have been obtained and work on the foundation is underway. I helped serve at the Kennedy Friendsgiving event and at the Kennedy ISD food bank distribution. I also met with multiple residents to discuss their concerns within our community. Lately, the primary focus of my attention has been the roof of our annex building, and I want to provide everyone with an update. The offices on the square have an issue of water dripping from the ceiling after it rains. Previous attempts to resolve the issue were unsuccessful. Around September 2024, Alert Building and Roof Systems was contacted for assistance, and in October 2024, they submitted a proposal to install an Alert standing seam roof system on the Karnes County Annex Building. I first learned of the proposal when it was placed on the Commissioners Court agenda for February 25th, 2025. I had several questions, and the estimator for Alert was not available, so the item was tabled for the March 11th meeting. At the March 11th meeting, I questioned Alert's estimator about their recommendations because I had heard that the issue may be caused by condensation. Alert advised that was not the case. We were told that we had a water migration issue and that Alert guaranteed this would fix our concern. For further clarification, I stated, "You're saying that we have a leak in the roof and we just haven't found it," to which the estimator said, "That is correct." Based on the contractor's expert opinion, this court voted to approve the $214,275 proposal to install the new roof. Shortly after the roof was installed, we had heavy rains and water started dripping from the ceiling again. Alert looked at the issue and now say the roof is not leaking and they are demanding payment. I hoped Alert would discuss the issue with us since their representative guaranteed a new roof would fix our problem. Unfortunately, their legal team says that any representations made before the contract was signed are not valid and that we are contractually bound to pay this bill. They are further threatening claims for breach of contract and fraud. The contract was prepared by Alert, and I have spent a lot of time reviewing the details. In my opinion, Alert is in breach of the contract they wrote, and we should not make any payments unless they comply with the terms of the contract. I don't want this issue to bring about expensive litigation for our county, but I wouldn't pay this bill if it was for my house. So I'm willing to fight this claim to protect the interest of our county. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you. Commissioner Precinct 2.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank all of our county employees for all the work and hard work that they do, and congratulate Falls City, Karnes City, and Runge with their playoff bids. They fell a little short, but let's wish Kennedy Lions good luck this week. They're moving on. County Road 211, installing all drainage is work in progress for the entire road. I met with multiple citizens on County Road 211 before drainage was installed in their entrances. They had some questions. They were pleased with all the answers, and just ask everybody to please slow down in those construction sites on our county roads. Hobson Project should start next week with right-of-way work and drainage. Have coordinated with the contractor and local citizens to establish staging areas for materials and equipment. County Road 375, 372, 374, 376, and 377, work should be started next week. Next Commissioners Court, I'll have an agenda item on. We'll present to approve construction documents and begin the competitive proposal process. Tomorrow, the hydraulic engineer will be here to remove the sensors from the test wells at 10 o'clock, and I'll be here to assist her to remove the sensors so they can prepare their report. Had some complaints from citizens about the Aspen work, and spoke to Aspen, and I think all the problems have been solved. And in closing, I would like to wish everybody a safe and happy Thanksgiving, pray for rain, and God bless America.
All right, Commissioner Rosales.
Good morning. I had several meetings with elected officials, discussed county issues, all turned out well. Been having some discussions on County Road 223 with a constituent. Met with the engineer. They immediately went out there and evaluated the road. And we're going to be working here in the near future to set up a rehab for that road. I think it's about a little bit over 3 miles, right? 3.1 miles? Yeah, it's going to be an expensive road to do, but here in the near future, we're going to be looking at that one to rehab it. Answered all my calls and all that I have going on. Also, I wanted to update you on myself. I'm talking kind of weird because my abnormal cells came back, and they have me prepped for surgery in January, maybe sooner if it gets bigger because it's growing. But as of right now, everything is good. We're doing good. I'm still here. I'm not on any kind of medication that I can't make these county decisions. If I ever do get on medication, I will let y'all know. Thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner Precinct 4.
So County Road 331, all drainage structures have been installed, road has been reshaped, subgraded, and cement stabilized. That project's really turned out nice. In-house crews are performing pavement maintenance on the intersection of County Road 107 and 115. In-house crews also reworked a large hump in the road on County Road 104. I know the residents of that area are very appreciative of it. Repairs made on the reflective damage at the intersection of County Road 335 and 336 due to oil-filled traffic. Design improvements are continuing on County Road 128, which is the road that is out there by the Atlas Gas Plant out in Choate, and I know the residents are kind of looking forward for that. Repairs are being coordinated on County Road 326. Aspen Contractor open cut a road. Karnes County Sheriff's Office created an incident report, and Karnes County Road and Bridge repairs. We'll pass that on to the county attorney, and she will coordinate the reimbursement for the county damages. And I do believe that Road and Bridge has sent that over this morning, if I saw. Okay. Drove County Roads 109, 110, 112, 302, 307, 315, 316, 333, 334, 335, 336. Put in work orders on miscellaneous issues, some signage, other, pavement issues, and we'll check back to see that they are addressed next week. I noticed dumping on County Road 119 and FM 1020, notified Road and Bridge and Tech Stop for cleanup. I have continued to work with DRG on the Precinct 4 Service Center, moving forward with the next step in the process. We'll be trying to come to court and get foundation, ordering foundation survey out there. I reached out to the election admin and inquired about securing a voting station in Choate, Texas. I reached out to constituents in the area, and with their help, I believe we have found enough folks to work the site. I'm not sure, I haven't talked to Beth today to see if that's true or not, and I don't know if she has all 4 of them or not, but I think as of yesterday, it was done. I would like to thank Beth Montalvo, Dave Morgan, and Barbara James for their help in this, and I'm excited to possibly have this service back in the Choate community. The City of Kennedy is having a Christmas in Kennedy on December 5th at 5:30 downtown. It should be a fun holiday event to attend. Runge Beautification Committee is having a meeting on 11/28/20, 6 p.m. at the Runge Museum. Congratulations to the teams that are moving on. I know that it's always a bitter pill to swallow at the end. I do believe Kennedy ISD is having a barbecue send-off for their football team, and they are accepting donations. I think this is going to be on Wednesday at noon. So go out and cheer those boys on that are representing Karnes County.
Go Lions.
Item number 18, we have our reports from our tax assessor, collector, and our auditor. Tammy, you're first. Last night at our lighting of the ceremony, you had forgot that we had.
Forgotten we had court today. Too busy collecting money. With the timeline, when everything has to be turned in, it's kind of late for me to have to get all the stuff to y'all, so I might be having to move all my reports to the second meeting of the month because of the timeline. For the month of October, for the current month to date, it was $1,098,430.30. The current year to date was the same, which was $1,098,430.30, with 4.87% collected. Last year, at the same time period, we had collected 4.04, and this morning when I left the office, it was 10.23. So money's coming in. We're getting tons of mail every day. The delinquent month to date for October was $16,406.70. The delinquent year to date was $16,406.70 with 2.73% collected. For the INS, the delinquent month to date was $13.46. The delinquent year to date was the same, $13.46 with 0.11% collected. On the road and bridge, the month to date was $187,314.61. The year to date was the same, The percentage collected was 4.87%. The delinquent month to date was $2,824.84. The delinquent was the same, with the percentage being 2.56% collected. And like I said, collections are coming in fast. If any taxpayer wants to do half payments, we have until the 30th of this month. Since that falls on a Sunday, I believe, we will take payments on Monday, the next day that we are open, which will be December 1st.
Great, thank you, Tammy. Tom?
All right, Court. So for October, general fund revenue was $1,396,060.25, and our expenses were $1,648,743.01. Our road and bridge was close to our general fund. The revenue was $1,325,442.71, and expenses were $1,631,33.18. Our non-court bills, GO was not as much as usual. The total was $3,348,498.05. GO portion, $1,982,852.81. Two payrolls of $662,063.66. Payroll taxes, insurance, retirement, $548,963.73. Utilities, $54,230.60. Then other bills are $100,387.25. Our investments, I know when I gave a report earlier this month, comment was made about our investments go down, but they have to at this point because we don't have the revenues come in until normally in January. So our investments did go down, but we did earn interest of like $2,366,153.17. So our overall investments at the end of October was $88,703,077.08, of which Texas class was $26,879,855.06. Tax pool, $32,935,91.95. And then multi-bank was $28,888,130.07. 4 years ago, I went back and looked to see where we were. We only had $31,312.52 in investments. So we've grown our investments by $24 million in 4 years.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, item number 19, discuss/acknowledgement of personnel changes. This is all departments. New hires in Road and Bridge. We got a new maintenance tech, one, no promotions, transfers, reassignments, one resignation / termination in the Sheriff's Department. Nobody's retiring. We are currently hiring for facility security officers, grant administrator. Karnes Wilson Juvenile Probation Department is looking for a prevention specialist. They filled all those other ones that I read all the time. Road and Bridge is looking for an equipment operator 1 and 2. Sheriff's Office looking for a bailiff, dispatcher, jailer, and deputies, patrol deputies. And the tax office is looking for a seasonal clerk. Great, I heard that last night. Very happy for that. Item number 20, payment of bills.
All right, Court, the bills are $968,985.57. The general fund's $128,381.57. The road and bridge total is $515,748.24. Another large is capital outlay, which is a new fund we developed this year. That was $289,264.10. And those two big items were we initiated the CAD system for the Sheriff's Department, so that was $70,340.40. And then the EMS Training Center draw to the contractors is $218,923.70. And I did want to let everyone know, we got notice on the 14th of November that Citibank is going out of the state contract at the end of this year, but we're going to still be able to use our Citibank cards till the end of February. U.S. Bank has been awarded the contract with the state, and we've already sent the contract to the county attorney's office to make sure everything's good, and I'll put it on the agenda for court to approve that. But transition shouldn't be a problem. It just may be a small, different process. We still will be getting rebates, which has helped out on our employee parties.
Make the motion to pay the bills as presented. I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising their right hand. If nobody has any more discussion, any opposed, none, motion carries. Item number 21, acknowledge Karnes, the County Commissioners Court will meet on December 9th 2025, 9 o'clock in the morning in our historic courtroom right here at 101 North Santa Maria Avenue, Suite 200. Karnes City, Texas, 78118. Item number 22 is an adjournment.
Second.
All right, thank you